Kevin Stefanski is playing a dangerous game, one where loyalty to Dillon Gabriel may cost the Browns everything. As calls grow louder for Shedeur Sanders to start, Stefanski remains unmoved, unwilling to rethink his quarterback decision. Critics argue it's more about job security than game performance, and insiders say Stefanski may already have one foot out the door.
If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed.
The team's recent string of losses, capped by a humiliating defeat against the Jets, has only intensified scrutiny. The stakes aren't hypothetical anymore. Cleveland's season is slipping through its fingers. At the heart of it all is a leadership dilemma that's dividing the locker room and the fan base. If the Browns don't pivot soon and embrace the raw potential Sanders brings, they're not just risking a losing season. They're sending a message that growth and readiness come second to pride and inertia. The NFL has seen some wild moments this season, but few have sparked this level of chaos. Jon Gruden, yes, that Jon Gruden, has publicly declared that he should be coaching the Cleveland Browns, and he's already got his quarterback picked out. His pick, Shedeur Sanders. And he's not asking nicely. He's demanding the job from Kevin Stefanski, the current head coach, because he believes he can turn the franchise around by doing the one thing Stefanski refuses to do: start Sanders. This is not subtle. It's a direct challenge. It's an all-out gloves-off statement to Browns management that screams, "You're blowing it." And the wildest part? A lot of people agree with him. Gruden's comments lit a match under an already smoldering situation in Cleveland. For weeks, people have been questioning Stefanski's judgment, especially when it comes to the quarterback position. Despite repeated mistakes and signs of inexperience from starter Dillon Gabriel, Stefanski keeps doubling down. Week after week, game after game, the decision stays the same. Gabriel starts, Sanders sits, and the losses keep piling up. It's not like Sanders has been hiding. He's looked sharp in practice. He's delivered in preseason. Analysts have praised his poise. Yet somehow he can't get on the field, not even after the Browns lost to the Jets, a team widely considered the weakest in the league. That wasn't just a bad loss. It was a disaster. A rip the Band-Aid off and start fresh kind of moment. And still, nothing changed. That's the tipping point. Gruden's intervention is loud, but it's not without merit. He's saying what a lot of fans, insiders, and analysts have already been thinking. The Browns are not just mismanaging their roster, they're wasting it. They're sitting on a quarterback who's shown he's ready, while riding with one who keeps making the same mistakes. The refusal to adapt is turning into something bigger than just bad coaching. It's starting to look like sabotage. And then there's Stefanski himself, who seems more focused on protecting his position than fixing the problem. Multiple insiders believe he's mentally checked out. He's reportedly entertaining other coaching opportunities, which raises even more questions. Is he really trying to win with Cleveland? Or is he just playing it safe until he can walk away? Because from the outside, it doesn't look like strategy. It looks like fear. Fear of admitting he got it wrong. Fear of being upstaged by a young quarterback. Fear of losing control. Sideline. But while Stefanski holds on to whatever vision he sold himself, the rest of the league is watching the Browns self-destruct. And Shedeur Sanders? He's stuck in limbo. Every game he doesn't start is another missed opportunity. Another week of potential wasted. And if the Browns keep going down this path, it won't be long before Sanders' camp starts asking why he's even there. The NFL isn't known for patience. If a guy's got talent, you use him. If a plan isn't working, you change it. But Cleveland is doing neither. They're sticking to a losing formula out of loyalty, stubbornness, or both. And this is where the controversy hits a new level. Because Gruden stepping in with his unsolicited coaching pitch isn't just about ego. It's a referendum on the Browns' leadership. It's a public statement that the people running this team aren't doing their jobs. And if they won't fix it, someone else will. The clock is ticking, and not just on the season. It's ticking on the franchise's future, on locker room trust, on fan support. Every game the Browns play without Sanders under center chips away at all of it. And when that support is gone, it doesn't come back easily. The risk here isn't just losing more games. It's losing the chance to develop the one player who could turn things around. That's what people are starting to realize. Sanders isn't just a talented rookie. He's possibly the best shot the Browns have at salvaging this year and building toward the next. And yet, we're stuck in this absurd holding pattern. Gabriel keeps starting, the team keeps underperforming, and the fans keep asking why no one is doing anything about it. It's not even controversial anymore. It's just obvious. The only person who doesn't seem to get it is Stefanski. And if he does, then it's worse, because it means he knows what needs to be done and still won't act. That's how locker rooms fracture. That's how players start tuning out. When leadership refuses to adapt, morale doesn't just dip, it collapses. And when players lose confidence in a plan, they stop believing in the guy who's calling it. At this point, Gruden's suggestion doesn't even sound outrageous. It sounds like a possible escape from a coaching strategy that's actively harming the team. Whether or not Gruden would ever actually be handed the job is irrelevant. The fact that his offer sounds better than the current reality? That says everything. What's happening in Cleveland right now is a slow-motion failure. A team with real talent, falling apart because of one man's refusal to admit his approach isn't working. And instead of trying something new, something logical, something supported by performance data and momentum, Stefanski's digging in deeper. The Browns face the Ravens next. A critical matchup. A chance to prove they can course correct. But if Stefanski sticks with Gabriel, it might already be too late. Because, at this point, the problem isn't just who's playing quarterback. It's who's refusing to change anything at all. This is more than a football issue. It's a leadership problem. It's a case study in how egos, fear, and bad timing can take a promising team and pull it straight into mediocrity. The kind that doesn't just cost games, it costs seasons, careers, reputations. Gruden's call-out wasn't just provocative, it was timely. It forced a conversation that the Browns' leadership clearly didn't want to have. And it made public what so many people behind the scenes have been whispering for weeks. Shedeur Sanders should be playing, and Kevin Stefanski might be the one stopping him. If Cleveland doesn't act soon, the fallout won't just be another loss. It'll be the moment fans, players, and analysts point to and say, that's when the Browns chose the wrong future. What do you think? Should Stefanski finally bench Gabriel and start Sanders? Did Jon Gruden cross the line? Or is he saying what everyone else is afraid to admit? And how much longer can the Browns hold onto this plan before it completely collapses? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Give us a like if you're done watching this mess play out every week. Share it with someone who's been yelling at their screen like the rest of us. And don't forget to subscribe. Because Cleveland isn't the only team facing a meltdown. And we're just getting started. The storm in Cleveland isn't dying down. If anything, it's getting louder, meaner, and more desperate. And at the center of it is the quarterback who isn't playing, the coach who won't budge, and the former head coach who's calling for all of it to be blown up. There's a reason this story has the NFL world in a chokehold right now. Because it's not just a drama about who's calling plays or who's under center. This is a full-blown crisis of leadership, identity, and direction. The Browns are no longer just a team under pressure. They're a franchise on the verge of implosion. And the thing no one can stop talking about? It's not just the decisions being made. It's the refusal to make the obvious ones. Let's lay it out. Shedeur Sanders isn't just hype. He's not a media creation. He's shown real, measurable readiness. Ask anyone who's seen him in preseason. Ask analysts who've broken down the tape. He's quick on his feet, poised under pressure, smart in the pocket. He reads the field well, adjusts to blitzes, and brings energy every single rep. Meanwhile, Dillon Gabriel has become the definition of just holding on. His performances don't inspire confidence, they raise eyebrows. Turnovers, hesitation, missed windows, weak finishes. It's all there on the game film. And yet, here we are, heading into another critical matchup with him still holding the starting job. Why? That's where Kevin Stefanski starts to lose people. It's not that coaches don't make mistakes. They do it all the time. But the ones who last, the ones who earn trust and build dynasties, are the ones who course correct. And Stefanski? He's doubling down on a busted hand. The cracks aren't theoretical anymore. They're visible. Analysts are openly questioning whether Stefanski is still locked in. Reports say he's already shopping around for other coaching gigs. He's mentally halfway out the door, and yet somehow still holding the keys to the entire organization. Think about that. The guy who won't put your best quarterback on the field might not even want to be there next season. And this is exactly why Jon Gruden's name exploding into the conversation feels like more than just clickbait. It's chaotic, sure, but chaos has context. And Gruden isn't offering some abstract hot take. He's saying, give me the job. I'll do what needs to be done. I'll start the right quarterback. I'll give this team a shot. It's bold. It's audacious. But in this situation, it's not crazy. What's crazy is watching your season slip away while pretending it's all part of the plan. And now, the locker room is stuck in the middle. Players see what's happening. They're professionals. They know who's ready, who's clicking, and who's drowning. You can't hide dysfunction in a locker room. It spreads. It sours relationships. It builds tension. And once that environment turns toxic, it's over. Fans can see it too. They've been watching this disaster unfold in real time. They've seen the glimpses of what could be flashes of potential, missed opportunities, moments where just one adjustment could have changed the game. And they're fed up. The loss to the Jets was unforgivable. That was supposed to be the bounce-back game, the get-right moment. Instead, it was a full-on embarrassment, the kind of loss that redefines a season, that makes fan bases question the entire structure, that makes national headlines. You don't lose to the weakest team in the league and come out the next week doing exactly the same thing, unless you've lost the plot completely. And that's the vibe surrounding Stefanski right now. That he's more interested in protecting his decisions than protecting the team. That he's afraid of what it would look like to admit Gabriel isn't working. That starting Sanders now would be an admission that he should have started him weeks ago. But what's worse, admitting you were wrong or letting your team go down with you. This is where coaching pride becomes dangerous. When it stops being about what's best for the team and becomes about defending your own track record. That's when decisions stop making sense. That's when you bench a star because playing him might expose the fact that you waited too long. And that's how franchises lose years. It's not just this season on the line. It's the development curve of a potential franchise quarterback. It's the morale of a roster that's losing confidence in the sidelines. It's the fan base's trust in management. Every week Sanders doesn't play is another week this team is choosing the past over the future. Even the people defending Stefanski are running out of room. Because there is no football argument that explains keeping Shedeur benched at this point. There's only ego, fear, and inertia. And it's bleeding into everything. Game planning? Conservative. Play calling? Predictable. Press conferences? Robotic. It's like the entire operation has gone into autopilot. And the only people who still believe in it are the ones too deep in to turn around. So yeah, when Gruden barges into the conversation with a take this loud, it's not just noise, it's pressure. It's someone throwing cold water on the delusion. And whether you like Gruden or not, the fact that his statement resonated with people says everything. Because deep down, fans don't want spectacle. They want solutions. They want accountability. And if the current coach won't give them that, they'll take it from whoever steps up. It shouldn't take a public coaching challenge to start the most obvious quarterback on your roster. But here we are. The Browns now face a brutal schedule, and the stakes couldn't be higher. If they keep losing, the season becomes a write-off. If Sanders doesn't get reps, his growth gets delayed. And if the coaching staff keeps pretending none of this is urgent, they risk burning down what little hope the team has left. People talk about windows in the NFL like they're permanent. They're not. They slam shut fast. Roster chemistry doesn't last. Contracts run out. Momentum disappears. If you don't act at the right time, you don't get another shot. This is that time. The Browns are at the edge of a cliff, and the solution is standing right there in uniform. It's not a rebuild. It's not a miracle. It's one quarterback change, one pivot, one overdue decision that might actually turn the tide. But if they keep dragging their feet, they'll be left behind, again. And in a league where the margin between playoff relevance and irrelevance is razor thin, staying stuck is the same as giving up. The Browns aren't just running out of time, they're running out of excuses. This quarterback situation has gone from frustrating to farcical, and the longer Kevin Stefanski refuses to act, the clearer it becomes. This isn't just about strategy anymore. This is personal. This is about power. And the result? A franchise stuck in limbo, anchored by a coach who won't let go and a quarterback who never got the chance to start. Let's stop pretending this is a football debate. The numbers don't lie. Dillon Gabriel's performances haven't been just mediocre. They've been damaging. Game after game, his decision-making wobbles, his rhythm collapses under pressure, and the offense sputters when it should be surging. Yet every week, it's the same song. Gabriel starts. Gabriel struggles. Stefanski defends it. Sideline, and Shedeur Sanders? Still stuck on the sidelines. At this point, it's less about quarterback development and more about ego preservation. Stefanski's coaching decisions don't reflect adaptability or growth. They reflect fear. Fear of admitting he made the wrong call. Fear of a shift in momentum that he doesn't control. And worst of all, fear of being replaced by his own replacement-level thinking. The league sees it. Analysts see it. The locker room sees it. And Jon Gruden definitely sees it. Gruden didn't just throw a grenade into the Browns' coaching room for fun. His comments, "Give me the job, I'll start Sanders, I'll fix this," aren't just some nostalgic fantasy from a former coach looking for headlines. They're a mirror held up to Cleveland's leadership, forcing everyone to see just how deep this dysfunction runs. And here's the kicker. It's not even about Gruden being right or wrong. It's about the fact that someone had to say it at all. That a former coach stepping in and saying, "This is broken," became the most reasonable take of the week. That's where Cleveland is right now. And for fans, it's infuriating. Because they've seen teams make the bold move and turn things around. They've watched franchises bet on their young stars and come out stronger. Think about every breakout QB over the last decade. Do you know what those teams had in common? They didn't wait. They didn't delay greatness out of fear. They recognized it, invested in it, and let it lead. Cleveland has that chance. Right now. And they're actively wasting it. Every game Sanders doesn't start is a page ripped from a chapter that never gets written. This isn't just a loss of opportunity, it's a loss of identity. This team doesn't know what it wants to be anymore. Aggressive or conservative, future-focused or stuck in the past, built around talent or built around tenure. Because what Stefanski is doing isn't leadership, it's stalling. And you can't stall in this league without consequences. The fans are already starting to check out. Social media is a war zone. The local media can barely keep the questions professional. And the players? No matter what they say on camera, you know they're talking behind the scenes. You know the trust is cracking. And the most avoidable part of all of this? The Browns did this to themselves. No one asked them to turn this into a soap opera. No one forced them to stick with a struggling QB. No one told them to bury one of the most promising young players on their roster. These were their choices. And now they're stuck in a corner of their own. So now what? Do they pivot? Do they finally break the pattern, own their mistake, and hand the ball to Sanders? Or do they keep pretending that nothing is wrong, while losing games, the locker room, and eventually, the entire fan base? Because here's the thing. This season isn't over yet. The Browns aren't mathematically eliminated. They're still technically in the race. But emotionally, spiritually, they're inches from collapse. And all it takes is one brave, overdue decision to flip the narrative. Let Sanders play. It's not radical. It's not risky. It's necessary. He's proven he's ready. The fan base is begging for it. The analysts have pointed to it. And Jon Gruden, of all people, has now publicly endorsed it. What else needs to happen? Does Stefanski need to lose another locker room? Does Gabriel need to throw another pick in the red zone? Does another commentator have to call out the coaching staff for pretending everything's fine? Because if the Browns continue to ignore the one change that could actually spark something, they deserve every bit of a fallout that's coming. 2. And let's not pretend the consequences stop at the end of this season. Decisions like this have long-term impact. If Sanders starts to lose faith in the organization, if he starts to believe that his talent is being ignored or wasted, what happens then? How long do you think he sticks around? How many players in the league today haven't left a team after being mishandled early in their careers? How many stars are now thriving somewhere else because their first coach didn't have the vision or courage to give them the reins? The Browns are treading dangerous waters. And it's not just their current QB situation at stake. It's their entire future. This is the NFL. This isn't college. This isn't a practice squad. This is a multi-billion-dollar league built on competition and execution. You don't get credit for having the right guy if you never actually play him. Sideline and Shedeur Sanders? He's sitting, waiting, watching. And how long can he keep waiting before he starts asking some hard questions? That's the part people keep forgetting in this mess. Sanders is watching all of this. He's seen the games. He knows what's happening. And if you think he's going to sit quietly forever while his shot is passed over in favor of mediocrity, you're kidding yourself, too. So when people say the Browns could lose Sanders without ever starting him, they're not being dramatic. They're being realistic. And if that happens, if Cleveland fumbles this opportunity so badly they chase away their best young player, they'll regret it for years. We've seen this story before. Talented players stuck on teams that can't get out of their own way. Franchises who wait too long, play it too safe, and end up rebuilding from scratch because they couldn't get over themselves. Is that where the Browns are headed? Right now, the answer is trending toward yes. And if that's the path they choose, they can't say they weren't warned. Not by fans, not by media, and now, not even by former NFL coaches. Jon Gruden may not be the solution, but his point stands. Someone needs to step in. Someone needs to take control. Someone needs to say, we're not doing this anymore. Whether it's Stefanski waking up and finally acting, or the front office stepping in and forcing the move, someone has to fix this before it's too late. Because time is running out. Not just for this season, but for the Browns' entire Shedeur. If you're still holding out hope that this team will make the right decision, hit that like button. If you're screaming at your screen every time Sanders doesn't get the start, drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more breakdowns of the wildest, most avoidable disasters in football, make sure to subscribe. This story isn't over yet. But if Cleveland doesn't act soon, they'll be the ones writing their own downfall. And when that chapter closes, there won't be a comeback left or right.